Hey, what's up? It's your boy L7. Today I got another very special show for you. I got my friend, Trotsky a Bust in the house. Yeah, Alan. So we're gonna actually talk about this special issue. He actually sent me a video he wanted to check out, and I was like, oh yeah, look at this. This is really interesting. He was calling out a lot of high-profile YouTubers, and I wanted to get a little bit more clarification of exactly what was going on. Yeah. So maybe you could just summarize a little bit of the video for people who might not be familiar with it.
Okay. Basically, well, it's a long-standing thing. I've known about this for a while. I'm not 99. I'm 100% sure of this. The reason I say 100% sure of this, there's a lot of people on YouTube that, we think that they're organic. They're saying all the right things. They're putting down both the Democrats and the Republicans as well. They should. They also, well, what I started listening to them is they always put down the Democrats for this whole Russia gate, which I agree with. The Democrats use that as a distraction. However, when you strip away who these people are, I mean, two things can also be true at the same time. The Democrats can be crap, and these guys could be working for the Russians. And how do I know they're working for the Russians? Well, obviously, a lot of them work for RT. RT used to be called Russia Today. It's owned by the Russian government, which is controlled by Putin, who's maybe the world's richest man. So just because they're saying the right things doesn't mean that they are. I mean, if you look back at MSNBC, Bill Maher, they used to do the same thing. When they started, we thought, oh, wow, finally. I look at these people now and I say, let's beware of them. And that's another reason why, I have my own channel and you have your channel. And you can see how hard it is to build up viewers. So when I see these people who just take off, you ask yourself, is there a lot of big money behind them? And the answer, I think there is. And
Um,
what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
so the thing is that I do see like these people getting shut off, right? But once they get big and stuff like that, right? Because I've been around like, big artists, I've been around like, people who are more successful, things like that, yeah. And what
Okay.
I've also had my own businesses and I've been like relatively successful as well. So what happens is that when you have a lot of money or power or whatever you call it, yeah, responsibility, yeah. What happens is that you get walled off, you know what I mean? Like people start like they want something from you. So you don't really get to interact with normal people the way you used to, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden you're the big shot, so everybody's coming to you and treating you different. So it may be, right, that they have consciously sold out, right? Or it may have been that they were just, that their environment changed, that their mentality changed, and they no longer got exposed to the same ideas. So when you think that they sold out, do you think it's either because they lost touch, or do you think it's sold out because they're consciously trying to make money off of it? Or maybe a
Uh,
little bit of
the,
both.
the latter. The latter. It's not even calling them sold out. They began sold out. And what I mean by that is there were nobodies. I mean, like Jimmy Dore, I've seen Jimmy Dore's acts like on YouTube. He wasn't a very successful comedian, let's be honest. And now he's big. But what does piss me off is one of the persons they defend, and my video has that, is Bashir al-Assad. Bashir al-Assad is the dictator of Syria. He's the mass murderer. Okay, he's the biggest mass murderer alive today, next to Bush and Cheney. I would categorize Bush and Cheney as killing more people. Still, Bashir al-Assad has killed about 500,000 people. And I read like about Max Blumenthal and Jimmy Dore's. Okay, first of all, what pissed me off about these leftists, and the reason I say they're sellouts or they're not to be trusted, is this election year is such an ideal year for a third party,
Yeah.
and they can put someone on the map. They can put someone on the map, and they choose not to.
We still
You
have
know,
like about 30 days. On 45 days ago, I was saying the same thing. You know what I mean? We
they're
still
not
have
going to.
30 days.
Okay,
And
who?
the thing is that, right, if they really want to believe, even if the worst case scenario, let's say that they believe this, we got to stop Trump thing. You know what I mean? Let's suppose they say we got to have Biden for Trump. There's no reason why we can't flip out the vice president at least. You know what I mean? She clearly was not anybody's pick. You know what I mean? Even in the
Oh no,
most, yeah, she's the clear corporatist. She's actually, I really believe Joe Biden is a path to Kamala Harris because she's
yeah,
clearly a corporate sellout.
yeah,
Clearly, you know what I mean?
clearly,
She's willing to
yeah.
do anything for the prison industrial complex, whatever. So, yeah, it's super disturbing. Now, you bring up some serious allegations about the fact that there may be money involved going. Now, the thing is that honestly, there's a little bit more to this that I can provide a little bit of perspective of.
Okay.
Now, you saw my video with MPP, right, where I emailed all the top news channels. I emailed all the progressive news channels. They could have actually promoted, right, a third-party solution, and it was in their hands, and evidence is in my video. You know what I mean? Also, there was another thing called Articles of Unity, which would have been disruptive. It wasn't really truly third-party, but it still was a disruptive solution, and I didn't really hear so much about it until after they kind of had already set their candidates. You know what I mean? They really, so the way that things are promoted, like now that I'm a content producer, is kind of like opening my eyes to ways in a slightly different way that I hope to turn y'all on to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And my explanation for that is they don't want it. They don't want a third party any more than MSNBC wants a real progressive. They're the progressive network, but they were anti-Bernie.
Yeah.
Why? So
Now,
they're
yeah.
anti. Yeah, they're anti-Green Party.
I
Why? If
I really want to believe that it's really that they're out of touch, though. You know, I mean, it's
no,
hard for me
no,
to really,
no,
I
no.
like, yeah.
No, no way, no way. They're
Okay.
corrupt. And again, let me get back in my video. I did put a link to a story by Al Jazeera, and he explains it.
I
And
can't deny the strange evetidence. I cannot deny that. You know what I
it's
mean? And
there.
yeah.
It's one plus like Max Blumenthal in 2013 went to Zatari refugee camp in Jordan, and the people that were begging Obama to intervene to bomb Syria. Now, Blumenthal was not for intervention, which is fine. I can respect that, but 2 years later, he's on a trip to Moscow with Jill Stein, with Michael Flynn. The following year, Jill Stein is running for president, and the Green Party tanked in 2016, just like they're tanking this year. Okay, no, come on. Why isn't Hawkins on every one of these shows? Right? Why doesn't he go do Jimmy Dore once a week, or all of them? They can come to our show. He couldn't get more than the goddamn 1% that he's going to get. Instead, what's he worried about? That he's going to get blamed for Trump? Biden is just as bad as Trump. I don't see a difference. I mean, I think if true third party people don't see a difference. And in fact, I prefer Trump because at least Trump, with Biden, people would say, oh, yeah, he's fighting for us. No, he's not. Biden did the crime bill. He voted for NAFTA. You look at his record, everything about it, he's gone against working people.
See, I don't know how it is for you, right? But the thing is that what's another thing that's funny about something that I've observed is whenever they say the economy is in trouble, that's when I do the best. You know what I mean? That's when the jobs all become available for me because all those people that sit in the offices slacking off, not doing stuff, just chilling, you know what I mean? All those, worthless cousins that are working at the company, right? They get rid of them and they need someone who's going to really produce like me, you know what I mean? What about you?
Right.
Have you had a similar experience?
Not really. I when they say the economy is doing good, they mean Wall Street's doing good.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Wall Street's doing good means the super rich are doing good, but no, they've given people 401k so people think, oh, they're attached to it until they go to retire and they see how long that 401k lasts them. It's not going to last them that long. So, I mean, I see a disconnect. I mean, if you look at this campaign, they're talking about everything but the issues. They say it's the most important campaign of our lives. Okay, so why aren't you talking about the issues? And to me, that's how I see it. It's just BS. And yeah, that's the only thing, I'd kind of given up. And now the only thing I think is maybe, hey, to strengthen numbers, maybe if all us little guys get together, maybe we can do something. Because there's nobody there's no media. The media is all owned by billionaires, and unfortunately, they're going to take over the internet as well. You look
Okay.
at you watch The Hill Rising with what's her name, Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
You know who owns The Hill, right?
I forgot the name of the company, but yeah, it's a corporate company.
Oh, it's the Moonies.
Okay.
You know the movies, the Unification Church? They're worth $3 billion.
Oh, you mean like
Okay?
the Korean moons?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah, they own the hill. They own this. They don't own it. They own the company that owns the company that,
So
that's how it
what are
works.
they doing with the what are they doing with the hill? You,
Uh, they, it's everybody. What's happening now is they realize the importance of media, and everyone's getting their piece of the action. Like Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post, right?
yeah.
Now, you and I can have this channel with our few viewers, or we have a Twitter account. The Washington Post is Jeff Bezos' Twitter account. When you really think about it, and everybody wants to say, and that information is power. Who controls the information has the power. That's why most people, if they're listening to us now, most people would have no idea what we're talking about, right? They think, oh, we got to get rid of Trump, or oh, we need to beat Biden. That's how people think because that's how they're told to think.
Okay. So
Yeah.
like I get like being mad at Jimmy Dore and stuff like that, right? Like he's all right,
It's,
you know
it's
what I
not
mean?
mad.
But
It's not mad. It's
okay.
just recognition of who he is.
But what about remember there was that other guy, I forgot his name. He was even funnier. He gave that speech at Trump, not Trump at I think he gave the speech at George Bush's commencement or the you know what I'm talking about? He's a
Are
late
you talking
night
about Joe Rogan? No,
Steve Colbert. He
Steve
used to be
Colbert.
so funny. He used to
Right.
be so good, and then all of a sudden he kind of turned into like an establishment like tool.
Yeah. Yeah. If
Like
you're
what
getting big,
happened, Steve?
you got 10 million a year, or however how much he gets. That's what happened.
He was so good though. He would be a legend
Yeah. Yeah.
of all
Well,
time, and he sold out.
okay, but the people who didn't sell out, like remember Ed Schultz,
Yeah,
late Ed
they
Schultz,
lost their
they kicked
job.
him off. Yeah, they threw him off. MSN. If you don't sell out, you're not gonna be on TV. You're gonna be right here with us.
You know, there's
That's
also
what
yeah.
happened. That's what happened to the people who don't sell out.
I think some of the people at the top, right, they mean well. I really believe that, but I think some of them are
I
out of
don't.
touch. I think some of them just got out of touch.
Um, maybe, or maybe they're surrounded by yes people. Like
But
I
yeah,
mean,
but getting out of touch leads you right to becoming right the problem. You get what I mean?
yeah,
Because first
yes,
you become out of touch, and then your sense of what's real slides, and then you start
yeah,
justifying stuff, and then it's just this horrible freaking
yeah,
degradation. So,
yeah,
you know, yeah. So yeah, and then also right once you become bigger, right, then it's not just you. You have employees and stuff like that,
yeah,
and they have so
yeah,
many other ways to justify like I gotta look out for them, blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? And then you're
yeah,
fighting it, yeah. So I
yeah.
kind of get it from their angle too. So
Well, yeah. Plus, your employees are telling you, "Oh no, no, you're wonderful, you're
yeah,
great.
yeah, that
Yeah,
too, yeah.
people love you. It doesn't matter that you sold out for $10 million, whatever you get." Yeah,
And that's you get surrounded by yes people and people that want your money, and people are to blame too. You know, I mean, they should be more
yeah,
honest. But we live in that
yeah.
society where everybody's scheming, playing their little games, and they get
Right.
that money. It's. I don't even want to say. I don't want to seem like I'm. I actually moved away from socialism to a certain extent. Yeah, you're still socialist.
I am a socialist, but I'm not. I don't want to be like rigid. I
Yeah.
I believe do what's best. To me, the word socialism really means teamwork. You
I was
know.
yeah. I was in discussion with some other people last night, right? And I was saying, right, some like socialism is good for some things, and capitalism is good for other things. You know what I mean? So I
Well,
would use right like capitalism is not good for like it creates waste. Sometimes it's inhumane. You know what I mean? You don't want to build like your ethical principles off a capitalist structure. You know what I mean? Or humanitarian
yeah,
principles, right? But maybe like
yeah,
in terms of like building for production, right? But then you got to temper, right, and say, we're going to, use this particular idea for designing, right, maybe our systems. But in terms of treating our employees, right, we're not going to use capitalism because that kind of, you know what I mean? Maybe, I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Some
here's
mixture.
the thing: is what it doesn't mean anything. It's like all that, like Trump. Trump always rails against socialism. Trump has taken nearly $1 billion of government aid in his business career. That's not socialism. I
It
mean,
totally is,
whenever
yeah.
they give money to the rich, it's not. It doesn't count as socialism. When they give a lot more money to the rich than they give to the regular
Well,
people.
socialism means, right, that it should right, technically, if the people are giving them money, it should belong to the people, it should belong to the government. So technically,
It
like when we
doesn't,
bail out Wall
doesn't work
Street,
that
right?
way.
Wall Street should belong to the government. You know what I mean? But does it?
No,
No. Yeah,
no, no.
it does in
The
the wrong
government,
way. It
the
does in a
government
horrible
belongs
way.
to
Yeah.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I don't want to even use words like left, right, capitalism, socialism. Well, let's just do what's best. But like I said, we need teamwork, and now it's extremely urgent because
But you
you
you know
see the
how the people
hurricanes.
are. They love their celebrities.
What's that?
They love this. You know how the people are. They love their celebrities. They love their larger than life figures. You know what I mean?
I think people haven't been informed. That's the thing. And if we can inform them, like you and me were nothing, but if there's a million of us, we're not nothing anymore. You know what I'm saying? If we can somehow find, not maybe not a million, but let's say we can find a couple of thousands of people like us, we can have a say,
Are you on
right?
Twitter?
I am, but very lightly.
Yeah, I started
Should
using
I,
Twitter to start try to aggressively grow my audience, and it's been working to an extent. You know what I mean?
like, what do you do exactly on Twitter?
Well, okay, I'm involved in actually several things. One of the things is I'm actually involved in a protest against MPP because the thing is that
Okay.
every day I post up another picture where I click up the number of days. So on every day there's another picture saying like day 20, day 21, day 22. We're almost hitting triple digits. I think we're on like day like 92, 93 right now. So we're gonna about to hit 100 soon. Yeah, so we're tallying. But the thing is that I you can mention right like MPP and stuff like that. So I mention all the places so people see it. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
also I post up like petitions, so people will like those things, and then because of that they'll follow me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Put a link on
also
the different.
on
Go
Twitter
ahead.
there's also this thing going on, this campaign called No Comrades Under 1,000. Now they're making up to 2,000. So 1,000, 2,000 people will follow your account, and then from there, right, you put your video up, and then more people might follow you. You get what I mean?
Okay. Right. Right.
So yeah,
Right. Yeah.
welcome
So
aboard, bro. All
yeah.
activists holler at me. You know what I mean? I'm down to help any activist. You know what I mean? What up?
Yeah.
That wants to spread their message.
Yeah. And yeah. Let's find other people. And I know you got other people that you work with, and that's great.
Yeah.
And that's and like I said, it doesn't matter to me if someone's. I don't care if someone's a Trump MAGA person, as long as they're honest and they want to improve this country. Because I know people who were for Trump, and once you start telling them stuff that he's done, they're like,
Yeah.
I didn't know all that stuff. And that's all it is. It's all information. People know how bad Trump and Biden are. Then they'll find out. But unfortunately, there's, like I said, even the third parties and the third media are not legitimate. So
You know, absolutely. And the thing is that when in this country, when 60% of the people believe, right, yeah, that we need a third party, when the
yeah,
thing is that a majority of the people in this country believe that the corporations are taking too much money, there's absolutely no reason that I can understand, right, why progressive media would not champion possibly or saying like, let's come up with a solution together. Right? And it's not like, before I might think to myself, maybe nobody ever suggested it to them before, or maybe they just never occurred to them. Now I've suggested to them publicly, made videos about it, you know what I mean? That can no longer be the case. I'm not saying that the politicians had to buy it into it, but just the progressive media. And
yeah.
it just went into a void.
No,
So
they don't exist. There is no progressive media. The progressive media, whether it's on TV or whether it's online, is owned by the corporations, and
yeah.
that's a fact we have to realize.
And they really are not pushing the Assange deal at all. The Assange movement is very strong out there. They are
Right,
mentioning it to an extent, but a lot of them are not really like highlighting it the way that they
right.
really honestly were like a couple of years ago. It's kind of quieted down, and I find it kind of you think the CIA has infiltrated, or do you think it's just money? Maybe
It's money.
both. It's just
It's
money.
money. Yeah, I mean, I don't buy into the CIA. I mean, the
Well,
CIA's
wait a minute. Okay, if we take a look at the military-industrial complex, right? Yeah, and we take
right.
a look at Google and Google and Facebook and Amazon, who do you think is bigger?
Say that again. Google,
Okay,
Amazon, and
I
what?
combine Google, Facebook, and Amazon. Yeah,
Okay,
and
right.
then I put them up against the military-industrial complex. Who's bigger?
Probably Google, Amazon, and Facebook. No,
Maybe,
am I
yeah.
wrong?
But the thing is that if you take Google, it's hard to tell because also the military industrial complex like hides its money or has like like alliances and there's a lot of like off the books activity. You get what I mean?
Right.
But then also right, the thing is that Google and Facebook sometimes they fight each other for market share. What's the most profitable thing for Amazon? Like Amazon Web Services, it's not really selling the retail goods. You know what I mean? Same thing is
Oh,
true
really?
for yeah. Amazon Web Services like the whole backbone, right? Actually, of the internet, right? Like actually, it's funny because you might, let's say, for example, use like, let's say, what's a website? Let's say Target, yeah? Okay? Target could buy their own servers and stuff like that, but then they got to worry about hackers attacking that shit. So they say, fuck that, right? We'll let Amazon or Google host all of our information. We don't got to worry about it, right? And they take over our infrastructure. And that's the main moneymaker for Google and for Amazon Web Services.
Is that why someone targeted Target a few years ago? Remember they were having problems?
Well, the thing is that most of the internet now are on these big servers. So
Right.
the thing is that that wouldn't be a reason to target because basically all the big boys are on there, right? Spotify's on there, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Everybody's on
okay.
there, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, man. So what's up, dude? These big so
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else there is. What anything to talk about? It, like I said, the only
okay.
thing.
The thing is that they will fight each other. You know, what I mean, Facebook and Amazon, they're not always friends because they want each other's market share. You get what I mean? They're battling each
Right.
other. So
Right.
what about right? If we took like who's the biggest one? Amazon's the biggest one, right? Amazon versus the military-industrial complex. Who wins?
Um.
I think military-industrial complex wins.
Why is that?
I think they have more penetration into certain regions. Remember, Amazon cannot deliver everywhere, right? Also, Amazon is in one type of business, right? Yeah. Remember that the thing is that they have very good infrastructure and delivery systems, right, through their warehouses and because look, I come from the music industry, right? Yeah. The thing is that like we used to have like 50-story buildings. You know what I mean? Like the whole entire record label, they have like two 50-story buildings. Yeah. Now all right, but then after Napster, right? You get rid of the distribution of CDs. You get rid of the music departments. Now those two 50-story buildings are five of those companies that were two 50-story buildings are on one floor. One no
Yeah.
two floors. You know what I mean? That's it. That's how much it shrank. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
because that's like all the logistics for sending out those packages, stuff like that. Yeah, same thing for the army military, right? They have huge like military going everywhere. Plus, they have dealings in a lot of different countries, probably
Right.
even more than Amazon. Like the military may have some installations near like Antarctica, things like that. They may have more access to satellites. I mean, Amazon has to buy it, but they probably already have access to these infrastructures. They're also, by the way, not perfect because you look at the government, they're probably still using like Windows like freaking 2000 and like you know what I mean? Because like
Probably.
that's the funny thing that those governments have to do because of shortages of funding. They'll have like weird like Mish Frankenstein monsters of technology.
Right. Well, the thing about the military-industrial complex, the reason it'd be so hard to defeat them is don't forget they do employ a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? Well, if a candidate, a leftist candidate, comes out and says, "Oh, we want to cut the military budget in half," so many people are going to be worried about losing their jobs
Yeah.
that it's not going to be an easy thing to do.
It's
I
a
mean,
huge
they're in a
machine
strike.
and all those people vote and you know what I mean? Like they're like a
Yeah,
machine and you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's a
yeah,
huge industry. How are you gonna beat that? How are you gonna
yeah,
beat that? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
And it's the
yeah.
same with Medicare for all. If you do Medicare for all, you're going to get all those people in the insurance and medical insurance companies are going to lose their jobs. You know, you're going to destroy the entire industry, and that's the sad things that the corruption has taken over.
You know, the
The
background,
virus.
yeah. My background is from the medical industry, yeah. And like I'll have to tell you honestly that it's not just the insurance companies that are to blame. The doctors are big time there as well.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh,
And you
okay.
could
Yeah.
you could not
I
leave them in charge either because they
no,
are just
no.
right. They actually screwed it up in the first place with
Yeah.
the insurance companies. You know what I mean? They
Oh
worked
yeah.
hand in hand since the '80s, right? Yeah, destroying the whole system, getting greedy, playing games,
Yeah.
right? Instead
Uh-huh.
of actually like taking intelligent solutions to the problem.
Right.
So if we like just remove the insurance companies, the doctors will still screw it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, the doctors just became so greedy, and they've just forgotten what they're supposed to be doing. And you look at the opioid crisis. I mean, you can't not blame the doctors for it. I mean, they're
Yeah.
the ones who.
Right now,
You
what
have,
doctors do, right? Have you been to the doctor recently?
all they do is prescribe pills. That's
Okay.
all.
Also,
They're plenty.
what they do is, right? Yeah. Tell me if this is true or not. Yeah. The thing is that the nurse sees you, takes all the readings, and the doctor literally, right, races into the room, checks a couple vitals, says, "How you doing?" Literally in rush tone, just the way I'm doing right now. He's speaking fast. Yeah. He says, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, you have this. Here's the prescription. Okay, gotta go by." He does it just like that. Am I right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Why? Because the thing is that the insurance company, right, if he doesn't do it that fast, right, then the insurance company won't give him his bonus. You think he's really giving you quality care? You know what I mean?
No,
Obviously not.
no.
Obviously not. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, these doctors, and you ever see? I don't know if you're ever there, right? You know what I mean? Honestly, Doctor, I like them. I mean, whatever. I hope they don't get no heat off of this. But you see, like ever those drug reps at the doctor's offices bring in those
Yes,
lunches, and it ain't
yep,
just normal lunch too, man. They bring in that like sushi or their freaking lobsters. You be seeing that good? You know you seen them come in, and they're always super pretty, dressed in them nice clothes.
yes, yes, yes.
You know what I mean? That's what happened,
And
right? See, now if you, that's what I'm saying. These elite people get out of touch because that becomes normal for them. You know what I mean?
right,
So all of a sudden you looking dirty and scruffy and it looks like you don't care for yourself. Nah, dude, they after your money, son. That's why they look like that. That's not reality, bro. But
right,
that they think it's
exactly.
reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And unfortunately, now it's only going to get worse, I believe, because right now doctors are working really hard during this pandemic. So once it's over, they're gonna be justified in their minds to do it even worse.
You know, and
Yeah,
yeah, and they concentrate on the little suffering they have. But meanwhile, they're making mad money, right? Yeah,
yeah,
and then what
yeah,
happens is that they say, you know, what I mean, I made $3,000 for diagnosing COVID, even when I had zero reason to do so. I got an extra free three G's, right? Yeah, or was it 30? I forgot. I think it was 3 G's. Yeah, just
right,
you know what? They just died. You don't know why. Slap a COVID sticker on them. 3 G's. Bam. There you go. Then
right,
at the
right.
end, oh my God, I worked through that crisis. It was so bad. I need a
Yeah,
raise. Man,
exactly.
fuck
It's
out of
only
here,
going to get worse.
man.
I know, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Really.
So, yo, honestly, there is something to be said for was it? I guess I could say the unwashed masses. I don't know. Yeah, us people on the street level. You know what I mean? So I love that about Trotsky Bus. He definitely has that angle, you know, that defiant angle on all ends and demanding, right? Yeah. A lot of people out there will say, "Oh my God, he said something bad about the heroes." You know what I mean? Look, I'm not really, maybe I'm not saying taking the exact same position, but I respect anybody who does take that position, and these voices need to be heard. And some of that is true, honestly, from my end, you know what I mean? And I'm looking for voices that have that same, you know what I mean? So if you have had this experience, right, of trying to get your, right, and I'm not saying everybody who does this is legit, right, but I'm sure that some of them are legit, right? If you also have tried to get your issues resolved through these progressive media channels and for some reason it just seemed like they weren't covering it, yeah, now that I'm starting to talk to other people, now that it's happened to me, I'm starting to approach other audiences and say, hey, what about you? What happened with your experience? And I'm finding out that some of them had this experience too. Well, let's do a little bit of deeper dive. So, Alan, I'm sure he's gonna be hot on this story right here. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he's gonna be utilizing his network as well to find the solutions. Yeah,
Absolutely.
no doubt, man. So, what's up in the future, man? What you got coming? You got any hot videos?
I didn't really plan. I
Yeah.
take it as it is. I mean, I've not been busy the last month or so, and it's funny because it's the middle of election season, and there's nothing to talk about. The election. You'd think the election season would be the busiest time of the year, but it's just another scam
I
election. It's
think we
not
can
even
still do something. If the progressive media freaking jumped on board, which they keep refusing to
there
do,
is
you
no
know what I mean?
progressive media. We're the progressive media.
Well, we gotta right. The thing is, okay, so like, what's up, man? I'm part of something called Power Anthem Network. Yeah, what's up,
Okay.
guys? You know what I mean? Like, why are you believing? Oh, you can't do anything. You know what I mean? When you do stuff, you learn to do stuff. So even if we fail this
Okay.
time, right? You contacted more people, right? And next time you start with that further ahead. You get
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, come on, guys. Yeah.
Right. Well, all I'm trying to do, like I said, is just to call out the phonies as I see them. That these people, the so-called, I call them the fake far left. They're not going to lead us anywhere. Okay, they're controlled opposition, just like MSNBC, just like Bill Maher. You know, so just like TYT. You know,
I don't think we'll be able to escape working with them. I think we all have to work like you know what I
I,
mean?
I don't. I don't think so. I don't agree. I mean, I don't know how you can work with someone who's trying to sabotage you.
That's yeah.
You know, well, let's think
I
about
get
it.
it. I
Maybe
get
I'm
it. I get it.
wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe you're wrong. We'll find out. Time will tell.
The thing is, right? Like, also, okay, like, here's a little perspective, right? Not saying that you don't have the. I bet you do have perspectives in this way too, right? Yeah. But
Okay.
sometimes, like, you're part of a coalition, yeah. But you're just a faction in that coalition, and you're not really part of like a strong faction. You know what I mean? For example,
Okay.
Asian Americans. Yeah, a lot of times when they say, "Oh, let's talk about racial justice," I know that it's got nothing to do with me. You get what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
Say that again. Say I didn't
I know
understand
when
that.
sometimes when they talk about racial justice, right,
Right?
that they're not talking about me.
They're not talking about you.
Hmm.
Oh no, of course not. No.
Sometimes they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, racial justice is
I'll hear the whole rest of the conversation go about black and Latino for the whole entire rest of the conversation, right? And they'll say
right,
racial
right,
justice,
right,
and then
right.
I will hear
No,
black and Latino, right? Not that I'm mad at that, you know what I mean? But
no,
there's zero. There's no like other minorities, right? Yeah, people of color, like what I mean, minorities, right? And then all of a sudden, like these are the minorities, but these other
right,
groups,
right, right. But really, they're not talking about racial justice either, because to me, it's like they talk about the income inequality and how much wealthier white people are than black people, right?
yeah.
What they
But
don't
yeah,
tell Yeah,
go
what
ahead.
they don't tell you is that about 90% of the wealth of white people is with the top percent of white people. 90% of the wealth of black people is with the top 10%,
Yeah,
right? So the disparity, the income inequality is much greater than racial. And the media will always focus on race because that's a good way to divert people. Make it black against white, instead of making it rich against poor.
yeah. When I'm the thing is that right when I'm marching with those people on those issues, yeah. Like
Right?
actually, when I say those people could be like blacks or whites. Yeah, it's usually I'm not usually marching with white people, white people's issues. Let's be real, okay? That doesn't really happen. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I will be in mixed right or mostly white. Yeah. You know what I mean? Protest things like that. Yeah. And I will sometimes see that my issues just aren't going to get addressed. You know what I mean? So I guess like
Yeah.
to a certain extent, like I'm a little bit used to it. So when these progressive guys, right, don't like also I'm kind of like new to it, right? Like before I thought maybe they just didn't know or maybe they just didn't come up with the idea, right? Yeah. But now that I've asked them to do it, right? Yeah, on video, right, with evidence, yeah. And now that I'm asking other people to say, oh, we also right had this program going to specifically, right, in this case, right, because before it was like just, it's possible, right, but now it's specific, right, yeah, now like we can project a third party, there's clear, right, something's going on, and for some reason these people are silent on this election right here. We're still about 30 days, are we still 30 days out?
Les, we're 3 weeks from tomorrow.
There's no,
22 days.
a movement can get hot within like you know what I mean they can come out with a blockbuster movie and get millions of people to fill those seats in just
They,
a couple of
they don't
weeks.
want to. They don't want to. They don't want to. The
But that's true, right? Yeah, I could if I said that, yo, I'm gonna have like a free Jay-Z concert, like in New York City. You know what I mean? Yo, we
Okay,
probably could get like huge numbers. You know what I mean?
right.
And it would in a couple of weeks it would be easy to make that happen. Why can't we right make something right? This is a chance to change right the future. So many people in this country believe that too much money is going to the top and not enough money is going off to the rest of us, which is freaking true, right? The income distribution is just not right. It's just stupid. Yeah. So we can
Do you
change it
want the
now.
remedy?
The will is
What?
there. Just the organization is not. And these so-called leaders, you know what I mean?
The organization is not, and the organization will always be thwarted. And the way they thwart it is by giving you false choices.
So
You
one thing
know?
that you said earlier, right? Yeah, that I really liked was you said that the revolution has to come from someone who's from the bottom. People like
Yeah,
us, yeah?
yeah,
But the thing
yes.
is that if we should start to like gain momentum or gain a following, right, then we
Right.
start to become out of touch. So how,
No.
right? And then we start to
Well,
have our own,
okay.
yeah. So how do we protect ourselves from that?
Okay. I go back. I think it's
You know what's really
this.
cool? Actually, we can have a panel discussion on that, yeah? I'm actually now implementing regular panel discussion with other YouTubers and other
Okay.
people that are interested in this topic. If you are an organizer and you actually have thoughts about this, yo, Alan, you down to like revisit this topic on another day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. So, look, the thing is, once again, we're going to repeat the topic one more time. As you write, the thing is that if you are someone who represents, right, the people who are normally, right, yeah, don't have power, normally, right, are underserved, right, you want the change the most, right, yeah. The thing is that once you start to achieve the power to approach that change, then you start to lose, right, the perspective of someone who is actually one of the
Right.
bottom people. So how can you
Right.
address that? And people say, "Oh, I'll have friends that are poor," stuff like that. It's not the same thing, man.
No, no,
So
no,
it
no.
really isn't. Yeah. So
The key is to have this constant information, right? That people can have. So if people at the if it start success starts going to our heads, then we have to be replaced.
yeah,
We have to be.
and we got to keep seeing you in the neighborhood too. And if
Yeah.
there isn't any replacement going on, there's got to be really serious questions about why there's no replacement going on. Is this
Right.
person really earning it, or is everybody getting into hero worship and kind of like enabling this person?
Right, right. And we have to also monitor ourselves. We have to say,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? We cannot sell out. It's like I used the phrase in my video, and I hope people listen to this. It's when you sell your soul, you're selling cheap. Okay. Okay. Your soul is priceless. Do not sell it. And I don't plan on selling mine. I mean, um, never. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. I know people say, "Oh, you will." If I no, I won't. No,
You
I
know,
won't.
one thing that I notice about a lot of these politicians is that they have children. You know what I mean? And I think that's a
Right?
really easy way to get to them. You know what I
I
mean?
don't have children.
Yeah. So I think that's also right something that
Yeah,
makes
you're right.
someone a lot
You're
strong
right.
because you can say, look, I can get your kids into Harvard, or
Yes.
like in the professional
Yes.
world they could be blackballed. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It's your
Yep.
choice.
Yep.
Yo,
You look at
that's
you look at the Obamas. Their kids are set. Their grandkids. Their great grandkids. He was just a struggling,
yeah.
backbench politicians in Illinois, and now he's set for life, and he sold out. He
These
did.
people invite like Ghislaine Maxwell to their wedding. I mean, these people have no morals. You have to be real, real,
Yep.
real careful. You know what I mean?
Yep.
These people will
Yep.
go to any length to retain the
Yep.
power and their money because they cannot
Yep.
imagine their perspective got changed, right? Yeah. Guess what?
Right.
Life on the ground here, it's not that great, but it ain't that bad. You ain't gotta like go to all this crazy stuff to live your lavish,
Exactly.
posh lifestyle. You know what I mean? Having that special bag right there wasn't worth hanging out with these, pedophiles.
Yeah.
I don't come on. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
dumb. You know what I mean? It's so dumb. But
Right.
they want to have this atmosphere where they have these elites. Oh, I'm better. I'm with the people that I'm with this professor. I'm with this. When you watch that video from that lady, she says a lot of academics, right? We're we're hanging around right with them, but I've never heard about right. All I hear about is the politicians. Where's the business leaders and the academics going down for all that? What's that guy's name? Epstein, and he was always wearing the Harvard fucking jacket too, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't
You,
know. Trump knew him. I guess Trump was a businessman back then.
I was actually at Hunter College. They gave a job to General Petraeus, who got involved in the sex scandal. I'm telling you,
Uh,
man, these schools are now like a
yeah.
shipping ground for establishment types, and
What?
they'll probably see
Where do they
lobbyists in there
get their
soon.
money? Where do they get their money? From corporations. You
You'll
know.
see lobbyists in there soon. Yeah, teaching
And think
classes, getting paid.
how expensive it is to get to school at a time where information is so easily conveyed. Why are schools so expensive? It makes no sense.
It's a lie. It's a bubble. It's
Yeah.
actually straight up. You know what I mean? It's a freaking Ponzi scheme. It's a
Yeah.
It's a Ponzi scheme run by our government. It's
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And
disgusting.
also, it's rich, so only the rich can get in. and this way they make their contacts.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's so disgusting. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yo, straight up racist, man. It's a racist institution. It's racist
well,
against my people, and nobody gives a damn. You know what I mean? Yo, this is what I have to say to this American educational system. You guys suck.
it does suck. It does
Yeah.
suck. Yeah. All
And
right.
yo, thanks for clearing that up, man. Yeah, that was a crazy video, man. I hope y'all check it out. You know what I mean? He
Okay.
goes in hard on Jimmy Dore, boy. You know what I mean?
It's not
Yeah.
hard. It's just that you want to call him out. I don't want to. I figured who this guy is and who a lot of them are for a long time now, and I just don't want people to believe that they're going to lead the revolution. They're not. If they were, they'd be doing it. We'd have a third party candidate right now.
You know, like I'll be honest, I still like Jimmy. I know I don't want you to
I
catch feelings
understand.
about it,
I
but you
still
know what I mean?
watch
Yeah.
him.
But you have valid critiques, and nobody's perfect. And I do think that Jimmy, right? Yeah, like maybe that is something to ask yourself. You know, you're super successful now. I've been there too, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he can't even get out of it if he wants to because he has too much money and too much clout. So people are gonna
Yeah,
chase him. He can't
yeah.
get away from it. You know what I mean? So
No, he can't.
he cannot get into a real space.
No, and what I pointed out was when you talk about
Yeah.
Bashar al-Assad, a lot of Americans probably don't know or don't care about Syria, but the fact is that he's defending a mass murder, and the only person who would defend a mass murderer is someone who's sold out. All right, nobody who's not sold out would do such a thing. They would not do such a thing. And he tries to blame it on, oh, the media is trying to do this or that. Okay, fine, the media is, but he's still a mass murderer, and you do not defend a mass murderer. Guy who killed 500,000 people, you don't defend. Even if he's an enemy of America, of the people, your enemy's enemies are not necessarily your friends.
It's a tough world out there, man. It's a complicated world out there, man. Yeah,
Right,
I feel you
right,
though. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm
right.
not mad at you for the way for your understanding of things or for your beliefs. You know what I mean?
Okay,
It makes sense to me, honestly, and I think it's kind of cool, honestly. It makes when I say it makes sense, you know what I mean? I prove it in certain ways, you know what I mean? But I do see other ways as
sure.
viable. You know what I mean?
You can disagree with me. That's fine. But I like disagreement. That's how you learn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's just some conditions I could see where it's not. But I think that you're right to have a hard stance against mass murder because mass murdering is not cool, people, for real.
No,
There's nothing good about it. Yeah, there's
no.
nothing. Yeah. So I just the reason why I guess I hesitate. Yeah, I'm sorry to take so long to say. I just don't want to push my ideas in. But people from North Korea, I'm actually my mom's North Korean.
Yes,
So the thing is that I know that a lot of people are starving over there, and they've been
yes,
starving
they
for
are.
a long time, and
Yes.
nobody's like they used to sing for Ethiopia, right? Nobody sings for the North Koreans. It's
No.
just like it's okay for them to die, right? They're suffering. So
Yep.
the thing is that if that Kim Jong Il, I'm not trying to be supportive of the North Korean regime, or I don't really know what's going on there. I'm not trying to even attack them either. I really don't know. Yeah, but I know the people over there are starving, and that's not right. You know what I mean? And I wish that something could be done about it. And however it gets done, you know what I mean? I want to get done. You know what I mean? Who's he mass murdering? He's mass murdering his own people.
His own
You know what I
people.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want those people to get saved. So, like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So
I
if you
don't
gotta
see that.
talk to them to like work it out, you know what I mean? So those people could live for another day, you know what I
Right.
mean? I'm not right. Yeah, the U.S. right could overturn them. You know what I mean? But if
They're
I,
not going
yeah,
to. They're
I
not
was
going
thinking
to.
about. I honestly, honestly, if you guys are watching this, honestly, I was thinking about going to Korea. I heard that people are starving over there, and I was thinking about just like throwing some food. Like, I don't know if you can throw it that far. They might not. Yeah,
Be
maybe if you're like,
careful. Be careful. Here's the problem with that. With the America, one, America did put a lot of money into South Korea. So America liked to juxtapose North and South Korea. So,
I
oh,
just
look how
want to, yeah,
great
I just want to put like turkeys on catapults and fucking launch them into fucking North Korea, and like,
they want.
yeah,
The guy. Um, the only country that maybe could do something about it would be China because they're next door, and if they had a huge refugee
the U.S.
problem,
could do something about it immediately.
they won't.
They could
Oh,
just turn over the government. You know
government
why,
will.
right? Why do you
They
think
need
that
an
is?
enemy. They need an enemy.
Exactly, they need a
I
reason
watched it. So yeah, you're
to
absolutely right.
keep
No,
their
they need an
aircraft
enemy.
carriers there, to keep their battleships there, so they can lean in on negotiations and
Yeah,
also, help out their businesses. Oh, you think you're going to move out our business here, our
yeah,
freaking, our company here? Guess what? Our freaking battleships are right outside. You can't do that. And
yeah,
then they do their little dirty business, man.
yeah. Plus, they can show the world, oh, look, communism doesn't work. Well, of course, it doesn't work when it's not communism, North Korea. It's just a crazy dictator who will do anything to hold on to power. And the
Yeah.
same is true in Syria,
And
unfortunately.
U.S.
And
workers have been the losers because you know why? They need to have troops over there because the thing
yeah,
is that because they're making the microchips over there, you know what I mean? They need to be able
yeah,
to watch those factories to make sure that our computers are secure. But guess
yeah,
what? If I could make a freaking chip, man, you know what I mean? I'll pay me right. I'll make a chip, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Bring the jobs back to the United States,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and stop using that money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They'll bring the jobs back when robots are doing the jobs, not for people.
Yeah, they're all, yeah, man. Oh my God. Yeah. They took all the money, man. It's not cool. Come on. Oh my God. Okay, so hey man, I really that panels I'm gonna try to do that on Thursdays, yeah.
Okay,
Thursdays I think at what time I think 9 p.m. EST. So for y'all West Coasters at 6 p.m. PST. You know what I mean?
okay.
And for y'all in Hawaii it's 3 p.m. I know it's
How
like,
do I join? How do I join?
there'll be a you on Twitter?
Yeah, but
Are
yeah,
you
I
on
am.
Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. I'll also, you know what? I'll also post a link like every week on a. I'll make a new playlist on my channel called Thursday Discussions, panel discussions, and then
Okay.
the link will always be there. You know what I mean? So I'll put it.
When are you going to put the link up?
I'll probably make that tonight. Yeah, I'll probably. Well, no, I have one scheduled for this Thursday, so we'll see who shows up, and then when I make the first one, then I will do it, and I'll just send you like personally until then. Yeah, it's a small thing, so it might be just you and me.
Can I
We'll
do it
see.
Thursday, or is it too late to join Thursday?
Come in, please. Yeah, we'll
Okay.
see who's there. Yeah, but I
So
think it's yeah. Okay.
you know, send me a link to.
The topic for this Thursday is how can we fix the elections? You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
So
And
yeah,
how are you going to send me a link?
I'll send it to you. Do I have your email?
You know what? How about I send you an
Or
email that
yeah,
you
you
can
got my
say,
number too, right? Yeah, don't say it out loud. Yeah, but you if
no,
or
no, no, no.
or you could also Twitter me or send me via
Okay,
YouTube or you could just comment on the video like we've been doing. Either way,
okay,
I mean it's all
sounds
good.
good.
All
That
right,
sounds
man.
good.
Yeah,
All
thanks so
right,
much
thank
for
you.
coming on, man. Yeah. No,
My
I
pleasure.
was just gonna finish up. Yeah. So the yeah. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, mass murders and stuff like that. Yeah. Like honestly, George Bush. You could say Obama with the drones. Like a lot of civilians got
Yeah,
killed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
They are, but when I look at someone like what Bush did in Iraq, where you're talking about nearly 1 million people, or what Assad did in um, Syria, or you know what, I forgot about North Korea. We have no idea how many
But
people
it's
died.
so dirty. What about like Nestle products? Do you have any like Nestle products in your house?
I don't think so.
Because
No.
like how they like went to like the South America, and then what they did was they told all the people there, right, that their formula was better than mother's milk. So the thing is that, right, so check it out, right, here's the ill thing, right, they actually, right, but it was tainted, so mad kids died. Not only that, right, but the way that they marketed it was really evil. You could look it up. There's videos on this. The
What year
way
was this?
I forgot. It was like I think back in the 70s or 80s. Yeah.
Oh my
So the
God.
thing is, right? Yeah, they would tell the mothers, right, to use the formula, and they would get in with the doctors too and pay them off. Then the
Oh,
mother's milk would dry up, so they have to use the formula. You get what I mean?
oh
But then
my God.
because they were poor, they were stretching the formula and mixing it with water. You know what I mean? And then the kids weren't getting the nutrition right, and it was a big mess. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? There's so much crooked, bro. You know what I mean? There's so much mass murder and everything around us.
There
You know
was
what
a
I mean?
movie like that. I think with Rachel Weisz. The I forget what it's called. Yeah, except that movie was in Africa that it was happening. That yeah, they were trying to sell some product and women were dying or children were dying, or they were experiment. Basically, they were using third world people to experiment on, which I'm sure they do stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, so we're surrounded by so much things that's just, like
Yep.
It's, crazy, you know what I mean?
All right.
So, yo, man, but I feel you, man. Thanks a lot for coming on, and I think you bring up some real cool issues and some real things that not a lot of people talk about, yeah? Which is really a core tenet of the L7 right here, which is looking out for the little people, you know what I mean?
That's
God bless
great.
my
Yeah.
brother. Thank you so
And
much.
I'm looking forward to your panel. Like, there's strength in numbers, and let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Love it. Thank you.
It's a dark day in our nation when high-level authorities will seek to use every method to silence dissent. The truth must be told.
And if you want the truth, you need to check out independent media producers just like myself, DJ L7. You should subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications when I release a new video.
The truth of these
We are
words
on all
is
the major
beyond
platforms.
doubt.
That includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Unfortunately, we have definitely seen that these mainstream outlets will cave to corporate interests, so we encourage you to join our independently moderated communities of Reddit and Discord. We also encourage you to subscribe to us on BitChute and Daily Motion so you can see the content that YouTube doesn't want us to let you see. Hey, now it's time for the most important part of the video. That's right. It's time for us to tell you about the Taking Action Group. Do you need an activist? Or maybe there's no activists around willing to help you with your cause and you need to learn to become an activist. That's exactly why we're here. Every week we get up with people from across the nation, in fact even sometimes internationally, and we develop strategies and a game plan to address the issues that are affecting all of us. Every week myself from New York City and of course my co-host Lisa from Los Angeles provide a coast-to-coast perspective on what's going on in the country. If you want to donate to help out with expenses, travel, equipment, stuff like that, then I definitely appreciate it, and you can hit us off at Venmo or PayPal. Thanks a lot. Hey, by the way, we also have a merch store, so check it out. Oh my goodness, it seems like you've reached the end of the video, so make sure you check out some of our other videos, make sure you subscribe. This is your last chance to do so thanks a lot, and looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment below if you have any questions or issues you'd like me to address. And if you're an activist, the time to make things happen is now.